Good morning, my dear students. Today's lesson is divided into two parts. The first part is the cause and effect, and this is the comprehension scale for today. And the second part is the new vocabulary. About the cause and effect comprehension scale, we studied this scale together last Thursday in the writing. We wrote together the cause and effect essay, and I told you the difference between cause and effect. Have a big look here again to revise with me the cause and effect. Have a big look here. Yes, it's the same page of last Thursday. I told you about the cause and effect. Cause is why something happened, and effect is what happened. The cause is why something happened or the reason for doing something, and the effect is what happened. If we read these examples together, look at these examples. Here we have Andy got 100% on his test because he studied a lot. I told you that the word or the part of the sentence he studied a lot, this is the cause or the reason. And the part of the sentence, Andy got 100% on his test, this is the effect. This is what happened. He studied a lot. Yes, what happened after he studied a lot? What happened? He got 100 on his test. So this is the effect. The word or the key word that links between the two parts here to show us the cause and effect is because. The word because here. Okay, this is the first example. The second one, Max stayed up late reading. So he was very tired today. Max stayed up late reading. This is the cause. And what happened? He was very tired today. This is what happened. Okay, guys? So what happened is always the effect. What happened is always the effect. I told you last time, ask yourself those two simple questions, why and what. If you ask yourself why and what, you will understand the cause and effect. Asking yourself why and what make it easy for you to understand that this part of the sentence is the reason and this part of the sentence is the result or the effect. Now, if we go to the last one here, you will find that Ellie forgot his umbrella and as a result, he got soaked. Ellie forgot his umbrella here. This is the cause. He got soaked. This is the effect. Okay, we got now the cause and effect statements or the comprehension scale of the cause and effect. Don't forget, guys, cause and effect, you will find them in the sentence or in any statement in the text or in the comprehension, and you will find a word that will link between the two parts of the sentence to show you that this is the reason and this is the effect. Okay, this is the cause and effect, the comprehension scale of today. Listen to this part and try to find all the cause and effect statements together. In here, about Rosa Parks. Listen.
Rosa Parks started something big. Rosa Parks was tired. She had worked hard all day. To ride home, she took a seat on the Cleveland Avenue bus in Montgomery, Alabama. On that evening of December 1st, 1955, segregation was the law. That meant white people could ride in the front of the bus, but black people had to ride in the back. Black people could sit in the middle rows as long as no white people wanted those seats. Rosa Parks, an African American, was settled in the first row of the section for black people when a white man demanded her seat. She refused to get up. Because she refused, the bus driver called the police. Rosa Parks was arrested. Black people throughout the city protested by refusing to ride the buses. This action, called a boycott, was organized by a minister named Martin Luther King Jr. After more than a year, the law was changed. Segregation on buses was no longer allowed. Because of Martin Luther King Jr.'s work, he became widely known. He went on to lead the struggle for African Americans' rights throughout the country.
Yes, here, after reading this part about Rosa Parks, you can find that we have a lot of cause and effect statements. Look with me here in this part, especially when I say here, because she refused, the bus driver called the police. This part here.
Because she refused, the bus driver called the police.
Yeah, this part here, well, because she refused, the bus driver called the police. What is the cause and effect here, guys? Yes, I'm waiting your answers. What is the cause and effect parts in this sentence? Because she refused to stand up or to sit in the back of the bus driver called the police. Where's the cause? Yes, I can hear somebody telling me that the cause is always after the word because. So the cause is always after because. So because she refused, this is the reason. And what happened after she refused to go back in the bus? The bus driver called the police. Yes, that's right, guys. Okay, try to find a lot of statements in the cause and effect in this text. Okay, to understand more. This is the first part of our lesson today. The second part is about the new vocabulary. I told you about it. Let's take it one by one, and we will read the comprehension, the definitions of the words from here. Now listen to the first word.
Generations.
Generations. What are the generations, guys? Go back here. Yeah, generations is periods of about 30 years, or the time from the birth of one generation to the birth of the next generation. So I can say, for example, that my generation is absolutely different than the generation of my dad. My generation is absolutely different than the generation of my dad. Generation, it means the period of about 30 years, or the time from the birth of one generation to the birth of the next generation. This is the meaning of generation. So the second word is, listen and repeat.
Pulpit.
Pulpit. What is pulpit, guys? Go back here. Yeah. Pulpit is platform or raised structure in a church from which the minister preaches. Like how, guys? The pulpit is this one here. If you go back here to the book again, you will find that the pulpit is this one here. It's something that they put their books on and then they read it. So they put their books on the pulpit and then they start reading for the people. This is in the church. Okay, so this is the pulpit. The pulpit here is something that they put their books on in order to read for the people in the church. The third word, listen.
Shielding.
Shielding. What is a shielding? What does it mean, shielding? Shielding, it means protecting or defending. Yes, yeah, I can hear somebody telling me it's like shield. Yes, it's the same like shield. So shield or shielding, it means protecting or defending. The next one.
Avoided.
Avoided. Avoided, it means what? Yeah, avoided, it means kept away from, kept out of the way of. Yes, so avoid, it means to keep away from. Like, for example, when you say, I avoid playing in the street. Yeah, avoid playing in the street. I avoid playing football, for example, in the street. It means that you keep away from playing in the street because it's dangerous, as you know. So avoid, it means, yes, it means kept away from or kept out of the way of. This one. Back again to the words.
Ancestors.
Ancestors, it means what? Ancestors, guys, it means people from whom you are descended, such as your great-grandparents. For example, if you are talking about your ancestors, it means your great-grandparents, the one that was living in the deep past. So ancestors, it means the people from whom you are descended, such as your great grandparents. The next one,
Minister.
minister. Yeah, what does it mean, minister? Minister, it means a member of the clergy, spiritual guide, or the pastor. So, teacher, it's still difficult. What is the meaning? What does it mean, the word minister here? The minister here, it means someone who works in a church. Someone who works in a church. Okay? A guy that works in a church. A church, what does it mean, the word church first? A church, like the mosque. The mosque is the place where Muslims are praying their prayers. Like we go to pray Al-Jum'ah, for example, in the mosque. We go to pray 5 prayers a day in the mosque. The church is the place where the Christians go to pray their prayers there. So the mosque is for Muslims. The church is for Christians. Going back here again. The last one.
Numerous.
Numerous. Numerous, it means what? The word numerous, it means very many. When I say numerous, it means many, a lot of. This is the meaning of numerous. Now let's listen to the words again and repeat.
Generations. Pulpit. Shielding. Avoided. Ancestors. Minister. Numerous.
Yeah, the last one was numerous, okay? Listen to the text on the right and try to understand the words in the context. Listen.
Out of slavery. Slavery caused great hardship and sorrow in the United States. Africans were forced to come here as slaves. For generations, slaves lived without freedom, and many white masters were cruel to them. All along, some white people said it was wrong to keep slaves. Over the years, more and more believed and said this. Often, these voices came from the pulpit. It took a courageous minister to speak out and work for change. The number of people who wanted to free all slaves slowly grew. Some very brave white and free black people helped slaves escape to freedom. They found numerous ways of shielding the runaway slaves. For example, helpers hid them in safe houses to sleep and gave them nourishment and clothes. Slaves who had run away avoided being seen by staying off roads and traveling at night. Many people helped slaves escape, but it took a long, terrible war to bring an end to slavery. Today, African Americans remember their ancestors and are proud and thankful for the sacrifices they made.
And
Yeah, this is the part of the text about out of slavery. Okay, and it was the last part with us today, guys. Hope you are well. Don't forget to answer your assignment on Pearson. The only homework today is on Pearson. It's an assignment on Pearson. Hope you are fine, guys. See you in another lesson. Goodbye.